Hello, Jamie.
Oh.
Let's go watch La Bamba. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Good Times, Great Movies. We're an 80s movie podcast where every 2 weeks we watch a movie from the 80s and then we talk about it. My name is Doug McCambridge. I'm one of your two hosts. With me, as always, is Jamie Lorello, who is wearing a guitar, as always, every time we record.
I bring it with me everywhere I go. I bring it everywhere
That was insane.
If you're going to take me to a whorehouse, I'm going to have it with me.
That was insane that he took his guitar to Tijuana. Like, just took it with him. And they're walking.
Well, it was with him. He was singing the song in the phone booth before they left, right?
Yeah.
Isn't
okay.
that when he...
All right. Well, then maybe it's crazy that he has it in school.
He brings it everywhere. It's his life.
I wanted to look that up to see if that was really... But I didn't. I did research on this.
You did?
I had to. Not that I don't like biopics, but a lot of times I don't trust them.
Oh, yeah. So it was always nice to compare notes of the reality.
He was such a boring individual that
he was.
Yeah, but like everything was kind of right. Like everything in this movie was historically on point because he wasn't controversial. You know, like.
No. And if you look at him, like if you look at the pictures of the real Richie Valenzuela, he's like this chubby little Mexican guy. He looks like this joyful little, I just want to make music and make people happy. And
he had at least one more chin than Lou Diamond Phillips did.
He didn't look like a part Cherokee Indian Filipino, but Lou Diamond Phillips does a great job.
I thought about the fact that we've only done 2 quote unquote historical movies and he was in both of them. He was in Young Guns and this. That's it.
Yeah, true. So cultural.
And he's so smooth. Like he's so smooth and hairless. Like I couldn't I know he's playing like a 16, 17-year-old kid, so it makes sense, but then
No, but it almost looks like he's made of clay. Like he's so smooth. Yeah.
When he's singing in that recording studio, it's like there's no evidence of facial hair at all. And maybe that's just what Lou Diamond Phillips is.
I think so. Have you ever seen Lou Diamond Phillips, even with a 5 o'clock shadow?
No. I've never met him. I mean,
no, but like even like in other, can you think of a movie where he has facial hair? Even a mustache?
No. But I feel like that would be a good look for him. Just the mustache?
Yeah.
Like
I could see.
Like Fu Manchu? I could see that. That would be awesome. I gotta tell you, I don't think I watched any Lou Diamond Phillips beyond La Bamba.
Okay.
I don't know what else he's done. I've seen him host things like on the History Channel.
Are they about Mexican? Oh, no, probably about Filipinos. He's a big, strong supporter of his community.
Maybe. I don't think I watched what he was hosting, but I saw that he was hosting.
Oh, gotcha. But you saw he hosted. Okay, so he's sort of, I feel like he's another actor that's gone to like the way of a CSI, maybe. I don't know. Or like a Law and Order.
His brother sure did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What's his name? S.I.? Esai?
Oh,
Morales? How do you say that guy's name?
I'm not sure. Let's just call him Bob.
Yeah, I mean, he always plays like if you want a Hispanic judge or
yeah.
I don't even want to say beat cop because he's always dressed really nice. I see him all the time. I see him on TV shows all the time. This guy's on every CSI and every
he gets work.
NCIS.
He gets a lot of work.
Yes. If you put him in a suit and just polish him up a bit, like
He's your professional Mexican.
Oh my God.
He is.
Super good looking.
Yeah.
He looks like a monster in this movie. Like, what was the wig budget on this movie? Like, he's wearing a wig, right? Every time you see dudes with pompadours, that can't be their hair, right?
No, I think it was. I don't know if he had a hair piece added, maybe. I don't know the thickness of his hair, but I think that was his dude.
I mean, this movie kind of opens with him on a motorcycle, and he's leaning back.
Oh, yeah.
And his hair looks like Beaker from the Muppets.
It's
And I was like,
all its own, yeah.
It's like, this cannot be this guy's hairstyle throughout the movie. But nope, it was. That was it.
Yeah. Well, he's okay.
the star
so
of the movie.
Should we talk about it? I think so. I told you. I think this movie should be called La Bamba or Bob, the worst brother ever.
You do. That should be the tagline. But if there was no Bob in this movie would not have been made.
Oh, it would have been pretty.
Like,
yeah, where's the?
Because there's nothing to it. It's just like, oh, this kid immigrates to the U.S. and he becomes popular and he dies.
He doesn't immigrate, does he?
Well, I don't know what he does. Yeah, right.
No, he's not. Well, his parents are from. No, I think that they live in like a migrant, like they're migrant farmers of some kind. They do live in a weird camp situation,
right?
Somewhere.
But even at that point, he's like 16 years old. I don't think he was born there. I could be wrong.
Oh, because he insists how he doesn't know. Like he doesn't know Spanish. He doesn't speak Spanish. No. So I assume that he wasn't in Mexico for long. But I might be wrong. I might have my timeline messed up.
No, it doesn't matter. The main thing is that if it wasn't for Bob's exciting life, like in these
Bob's exciting life,
in these rock star biopics, like you need drug and alcohol abuse, you need womanizing, you need spousal abuse, and that's just Bob. Like that's
yeah, because the mom, like her. You get they mentioned how his dad was an alcoholic, right? When she gets in the gig at the bar, I think she tells the bar owner, right? His first real gig was at that bar.
Yeah, like my husband drank himself to death in your place. You owe me one.
Yeah. Right. So you get the feeling that maybe their dad was a bit of a drinker, but then they also have the picture of him as in the service.
Well,
right,
Jamie, the two are not exclusive. Like you can.
Well, I get it, but I'm saying he's just not. No, but he was not a rotten. He wasn't like a drug dealer. Like that's like Bob does some shady shit.
How excited was that guy just to get weed? That dude was losing his mind.
He's jumping up and down. And how much fun were they having when they were stoned? They were just had the giggles, which I guess is. But to see that big motorcycle guy be like,
for as Bob as bad as Bob was, there were times in this where I was like, "Come on, Elizabeth Pena, just loosen up a little bit."
Exactly.
Come on.
Yeah. My favorite was when he realized how much he loved painting and art. When he was painting the first poster, and he was like, "Oh, now I got to do." But the posters were beautiful.
I was ready for a scroll at the end to be like, "Bob became a famous animator and now works for Warner Brothers." But no, that just got dropped. That was it.
No, that was his one of his like. Oh, it was a very telling story between the brothers.
Hey,
and
can
the
I
older
just?
brothers.
I know we want to get into this because we're already into it, but
we're already in it.
I feel like I just want to say one thing real quick. I put a lot of our old episodes on YouTube because I was just like, oh, it's another place where people can go, and if people are listening to this right now, there's no different content, there's no video or anything. I just put like a still from the movie up there.
Fun,
but the best part about this, and I kind of forget that I do it, so I don't check. Like, we don't tend to get a lot of good feedback there because I think people see the runtime and then they see the movie name and then they expect it to be the movie.
And then it's just us talking about it.
It's easy to figure out too because like Little Darlings, Hell Night, and Personal Best were movies that we couldn't even find when we were covering them. And they're the ones that have like 300 views. But there was a woman who left a really nice review. And it was like paragraphs long, something that people cannot do on Twitter and don't do on Facebook, about our personal best review. And she was like, I'm not going to read it, but she was like, as a lesbian, I viewed this movie a little bit differently. And, you know, she sort of understood that we were joking about it and stuff like that. But she was really nice. And I just, you know, I hope she's listening. And if she is, I really appreciate that. That was really nice because nobody gives that.
We like a little dialogue.
That amount of feedback.
In depth.
Like, she broke it down. Like,
well, imagine if she was looking to watch Personal Best and then instead she heard us, and it set her into a little think tank on her own.
But anyway,
she decided to share it. That's
so
nice.
If anybody does know someone who is morally opposed to iTunes, if people don't listen to the podcast but they go to YouTube, there's another place to find us. But I don't know. Whatever. If you're listening to us now, you're listening to us on iTunes or some other podcast place. But I put it out there.
Just thanks for listening.
That's it. So thank you to our listener who really enjoyed our Personal Best episode, a movie I had forgotten we even watched. All right. So, Jamie, let's go. You gotta take us through La Bamba, and I know you owned it on VHS.
Oh, I did. Oh, yes, I did. Yeah, I did. And I did. I remember enjoying watching it a couple of times as a kid. So, but definitely rewatching it, there was details that I've forgotten. Like, I forgot how often we see and the aspect of the plane crash that haunts him. And that's what we open up.
I totally forgot about
crash
that.
Because
at the beginning, I was like, is he seeing his future death?
Did that? I was like, is he already dead?
Did that plane crash over top of like a school? I was like, I thought it was at night in a snowstorm.
Yeah.
But maybe I got my history wrong.
That's why I was all confused. But we don't. We see this plane crash that we then see throughout. It's like the crash that haunts Richie because he is afraid to fly.
That comes up pretty late in the movie. I mean, he doesn't really fly until late in the movie, so I get it. But, but still.
Yeah. Well, he's having this nightmare, and he wakes up then. His family, we start out, they are living at it seems like a camp of some kind. Like, literally, there's like babies in hammocks, and he's sleeping in a tent. And it's just this.
Yeah, I guess they're just picking oranges, right? I mean, they're just.
I think they're apples.
Oh, I don't know.
They're some kind of fruit. They're picking fruit because later on it looks like it's a peach. You're not sure. They're fruit pickers.
I mean, there's a chance that farms grow different kinds of fruit. We're
right,
not sure. We haven't done that research.
Right. La Bamba means the fruit grower, right? No.
Pretty sure, right? What are you drinking? That looks...
Oh.
Is it a margarita? Did you make a margarita? Okay.
No, I should have. I wanted to make a margarita.
I kind of forgot all about that.
No, it's just...
I mean, I am drinking Modelo Especial, which I think is Spanish for special. I'm not sure. Although I think Modelo is just like Budweiser for people that are just like, ooh, Budweiser, because they taste exactly the same.
It is a beer, to answer your question. It's just a mason jug, because that's what you do in the South. When you drink something, you put it in a mason jar. And
I've seen you drink out of mason jars before, but not mason jars of that volume. That looks very large. It could just be like the Skype camera issues, just having some perspective. But
I don't think it's as big as. I mean, it's not like a.
Oh yeah, no, I can see your hand now.
I think it's a weird perspective.
It looked so big, like your hand wouldn't even be able to grasp it. You would need two hands.
It's just a big planter full of beer. I'm just sipping at. Well, I almost had my usual glass of wine, and I decided, nay, it's La Bamba. You have to have beer, or if you can't have a margarita.
It doesn't even make sense. Wait, why would you need beer for La Bamba? I mean, it seems like Bob is just going to drink anything. It doesn't really.
Well, I wasn't going to do shots of tequila, or sip on my tequila while I was Well, when we meet Bob, so they're this family, and it's like migrant farmers, right? They're all together. All these Mexican families are living together in like this camp situation. on a fruit farm. When Bob comes back into town, he rides his motorcycle
He's
in,
so
and it's
cool.
clear, like, yeah, oh yeah, and he's like, he's Billy. He is Richie's brother. Richie's older brother.
I wish Billy Bob Thornton was in this. Yeah, he's his older brother, and we find out very early he just got out of prison, right?
Yes, yeah, that's where he's been.
Right.
That's why he's been away from the family so long, is because he just got out of jail for what I think later on they mention is something that the mom maybe reported him for.
Oh my God!
Like,
yeah.
he would at one point he yells at her like it was her fault for being picked up or something. But he comes back with a promise of a new day for the family, right?
He bought them a house. I mean, it's kind of a shit shack, but
yeah. A house and a trailer. Yeah, but still they're not living in tents, right?
Right.
And they all get in. I guess it's the community car that maybe they won the coin toss to get.
That car, they loaded up like they're the Beverly Hillbillies. It's just chairs on the roof.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, you're glossing over the fact that La Bamba, oh my God, what's his name? Richie Valens is dating. I guess dating, right? I guess it's implied.
They seem to be into each other. Like yeah.
Are they?
Yeah, dating.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
right. What's her name?
Yeah.
Maria?
Yeah. No, Rosie, I think.
Played by Elizabeth Pena.
Mm-hmm.
R.I.P. Poor Elizabeth Pena. Just a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, she.
Good R.I.P. She was really.
Yeah, she fried her liver.
She fried her liver.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she died from cirrhosis of the liver due to drinking.
Really? Aw, I didn't know that.
Yeah, kind of sad.
Yeah. Yeah, that is very sad.
It's a good thing we
talked
about drinking so much at the beginning of this.
I know.
She was really great. I don't know her from a lot.
Yeah.
I remember her from Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah, she just has a very, I don't know, her and the mother character.
The mother character's great. I didn't really recognize her or know her from anything. Mm-hmm. But no, she was fantastic in this movie.
She was awesome. Yeah, I agree.
Almost everybody was great in this movie. I'm not so sure about Donna. Donna,
I agree. Donna's a little
weak links of this movie.
Yeah. Donna, I was like, what is going on with? Yeah, she gives a nice E for effort. We'll say, sweet Donna.
I mean, I think an E is a failing grade. I think you meant A for effort, or maybe like B minus.
Oh, Donna. I would sing it, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna try to sing La Bamba later. So get yourself ready for that. Yeah.
It's all Spanish.
Have you looked up
enough of these English songs? I'm gonna go for the one that's just Spanish.
Did you read the translation of La Bamba?
No, I did
not. La Bamba is the dance, and then what he says, "Yo soy no marinero, soy capitán." I'm not the sailor. I'm a captain. It's a very invigorating song when you think about it. It's very like...
What does that mean?
I'm not the sailor. I'm the captain. I'm the captain of my ship. And if you can do the La Bamba, you have to be graceful. Those are the other words.
Oh,
which I guess
I didn't even know it was a dance. I never really investigated La Bamba. You mean it's like an electric slide?
It's not like an electric slide.
More like what's the forbidden dance?
Are you talking about the Macarena? Because the Macarena and the La Bamba.
They're all dances. What's the difference? Wait, what is the forbidden dance? Do you remember the forbidden dance? Remember that? That was a big thing for a while. Do you remember that?
Is it the tango?
No. They made a movie about it. Oh my God! I have to look it up. I can't. And I think it was very Hispanic. The forbidden. It doesn't even come up as like the first 28 listings. The forbidden dance
is
the lambada.
Oh, which is like a lambada.
Which is
La Bamba.
Close to La Bamba. I hope Lou Diamond Phillips was in Lambada. I don't think he was.
No.
Yeah.
Lambada.
All right. So anyway, we've gotten off on a weird tangent because I didn't know the La Bamba was a dance.
No, it's a song.
I mean, I know.
I don't
knew
think it's
that
a dance.
Capitan had to be captain, but I didn't understand that there was I don't know. I guess I never really thought about it.
There's not dance. It's like a folk song, and it just means like and the words are like the dance. You have to dance graceful. I don't know if it is a dance that's
well, it has to be a dance.
I think it's just a song about a dance.
I mean, La Bamba is not. No. I'm just saying La Bamba does not translate to dancing in Spanish.
I see what you mean. Yes, okay, I see what you mean.
So they must be pointing to
the La Bamba, the dance move.
Yeah. And yet we never see anybody doing the La Bamba.
Nobody La Bambas. But nobody's a captain in the movie, so.
You know, we're like a minute and a half into this movie. They're not even off of the orange grove yet. I don't even know if he's held a guitar yet.
Oh, no, he's always holding the guitar. Don't you remember they sit around the campfire and he's playing the guitar for the kids? He and
his brother run up a hill and he's got the guitar on him. And they're like boxing and he has a guitar.
Yeah, it's his baby. It doesn't leave his side. Kidding me? But he lets his girl leave his side, which was not the best idea with his whore of a brother.
No, that dude is smooth, and he moves right in.
Yep. And he was like, oh, man, I didn't realize when he says something. I think he's like, oh, yeah, I guess she's like the only teenage girl in the grove that...
Yeah, because he comes up right after they have sex. He sees Lou Diamond Phillips. And he's like, hey, buddy, what's up? And he's like, well, you should tell me what's up. And he's like, oh, was that? Did I? I didn't know.
Who would know?
You should have said something.
Yeah. Well, he does the same thing to her. He's like, I didn't know it was your first time. And she's just like, you didn't ask. And that just happened. So, yeah. But, he just got out of jail, so I guess he needed some love.
And it's a shame because you know what Richie Valens is going to become, and you have an idea of what Bob's going to become. And this whole movie ends up being like, oh, Elizabeth Pena made the wrong choice here.
Yeah, you should have made it. And she knows it, though. She realizes
immediately. I mean, they're not in California. Well, they might have started in California, but they're not at their new house for more than 10 minutes in this movie when you realize, oh, man, she knows she made the mistake of a lifetime.
Yeah. First of all, she shouldn't have left the grove. She shouldn't have left.
When she jumps on the back of his motorcycle and drives off, and some dude...
Her dad just chases... I think it's his dad.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Now we see this garbage house that they live in.
Oh, yeah.
Which has a trailer next to it, so they can all...
Perfect for...
And it says, 3 months later. So they're all settled in. And who are these kids? Who are these kids?
They're siblings.
Whose siblings?
Got, the kids that are living with them, it's Richie's siblings. He's got 2 younger sisters and a brother. I think. It's at least a couple of girls. I don't know where the other kids come from, at a certain point, but I'm guessing the neighborhood, because he's singing to kids all the time with his guitar.
Birthday parties.
Yeah. And I'm assuming they're neighborhood kids. Okay. But he definitely has younger siblings that come along. Okay.
Because it made it seem like their dad died a long time ago. So then I wasn't sure, because I was like, well, wait, are these just kids that the woman had? And then I was like, maybe these are Elizabeth Pena's kids, but that doesn't make sense because she jumps on the bike at the last second.
And I think and I think she herself is a...
Oh, yeah, she never had sex before. Yeah. Never mind. I just thought the kids seemed very young to be part of this family.
Well, maybe the dad didn't die as young as you thought or as soon as you thought. But again, timeline's questionable. What we need to get back to is Bob.
Is this movie?
So Bob, we realize,
what about Bob?
What about him?
All right, okay.
Very different movie, though. I thought about using the Bob reference to recommend What About Bob, but I didn't. So don't hold your breath for that recommendation.
You know what's crazy?
Even though it's a great movie.
I thought this podcast would be an excuse to watch that movie again because
What About Bob? But it's a 90s, isn't it?
I know, because I don't get it. Oh, it's one of those movies that
I love
every single person I've ever talked to loves that movie, and I'm almost embarrassed to say I didn't like it.
You didn't? Are you a Bill Murray fan? Do you not like Bill Murray?
Bill Murray's great. It's
Richard Dreyfuss that bothers you.
no, he's fine. I'm not a big Richard Dreyfuss fan, but
Well, who really is?
I think it's one of those things that is clearly I didn't get it, and it's my problem. But I don't. But I don't know that I'll ever watch it again.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I felt like he was very irritating in that movie, and it really bothered me.
that was kind of the point of his character.
I know. All right.
Let's talk about What About Bob instead of La Bamba. Do you want to?
I can't remember. I can't remember a moment of What About Bob, so we can't talk about it.
Oh, bummer. I'm sailing. Keep sailing.
Oh, I remember
Bob.
that he's tied to like a mast, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know why.
Because forget
All
it.
right.
If we can't talk about this movie, this is not the movie we're supposed to talk about. Don't get me that off topic.
Again, nothing has happened. We're a half hour into this, and nothing has happened.
Well, we do have when Richie auditions for his first band, the Silhouettes, with the terrible lead singer and a very multicultural band, might I add. There's like a Chinese,
this movie
right?
makes it seem like the 1950s were the most accepting time ever in American history.
Well, for the Silhouettes, for the band, the Silhouettes, for sure. So we have a black piano player, right? We have I don't know what he is. Is he supposed to be Italian or is he Cuban of some sort? Like a very aggressive, dark-haired singer.
That Asian dude looks so old.
Oh, and then the Asian dude, yeah, who
like,
looks like he's like
bald.
in his, yeah.
Why is he in this teenage garage band?
And then it's a fellow Mexican that's a drummer, right? Yeah. And so he auditions for this band later when they do well, not that much later, when they do their first garage party and everybody, Richie invites Donna and his mom's all excited watching from the car. The lead singer for the band, the Silhouettes, which later they drop, is the worst.
This guy is
he not?
Terrible. And I think it's one of those things where I guess for the movie they made this guy like he couldn't have been that bad.
Exaggerated his,
yeah.
I would hope
way.
not.
Especially because Richie Valens comes in and sings like he's in a recording studio. It is the cleanest singing ever.
Just as clean as his face.
Oh,
just as clean as his pretty face.
He kills it. He destroys it.
Yeah.
And then they play that garage band or that garage show and he doesn't sing. He seems upset that he doesn't sing, but nobody else does. So I'm like, did they tell him he was going to sing? Did he just assume he was going to?
I think he assumed he was going to. That's why he invited so many people, because that's why his mom gets mad that they didn't let him sing, and that's when she wants to find his own gig.
That lead singer was irritating.
Yes.
Watching that guy sing was upsetting.
I was too. And after having seen how wonderful Richie was, you just want to be like, why are you letting this idiot sing all these songs? He was the leader of the band, so he got to, pick their,
And again, I know I've said it before, but Lou Diamond Phillips looks fantastic in this movie. Like, he's got, like, the rolled-up sleeves of the 50s.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's been working out a bit. Like,
well, he plays that damn guitar all the time. That'll give you a little...
He's a really good-looking guy, but can we say that he fake sings really weird? His fake singing is the weirdest.
His lip syncing is...
That's the thing I really remembered about this movie. When he's singing, his mouth doesn't look right. Something's wrong.
It looks like a cartoon mouth in a weird way. Like, it looks like it's animated even though it's not. Like, it's not.
He opens his mouth and then his tongue rises up like a wall. It's really strange looking.
And his nose does a weird, like, bunny thing. Like, he's got this weird, like, crinkle that happens in his little face. And, yeah, it's clear that it's not really him even trying to sing.
I feel like when they shoot music videos, now they pump in the music so that people know what to do as far as choreography and lip syncing. But I feel like the singers are probably actually singing.
Yeah, because it's their tunes. Yeah,
It looks like he's just mouthing the words. Like, it's like there is no sound coming out of his mouth during these scenes.
Well, there's no sweat either. Or does he sweat maybe a little bit when he has to do the recording? Or does he just grab at his throat a lot when he makes him record that song over and over again?
I love how Bob is in the recording studio with him.
I know.
Like, you can't just have somebody sitting in there, crossing their legs and tapping their feet on the ground. Oh, Lou Diamond Phillips, I don't get it.
Obviously, Bob and Rosie have an estranged relationship, but we do get to see how when Bob and his buddies get stoned in the trailer, and Rosie's not a fan of being stoned, and then she kind of leaves, and his friends leave, and then he rapes her, right? Doesn't he? It's an awful, like, he just goes from, like, happy stone, come on, be drunk with me, to, well, now I guess I have to rape you. I don't know. And it turns out she's pregnant and she's not happy.
No,
you know,
not happy
it's
at all.
not a happy life for little Rosie. In the meantime, Richie has moved on from Rosie since his brother has claimed her. And he's now walking Donna home from school, right? I do like when his when Donna's dad sees him.
Mr. DeWitt.
You know.
Because that's the thing, like, this movie is so non-racist that even the character that should be racist never says anything racist. Like,
well, he says he
once
asked
calls
her
it jungle music, but that might be the most racist thing he says.
Yeah. I like when he's questioning what he is. Is he an Italian? And do you like throughout this movie a couple of times it seems like Richie's nickname for Donna is Kitten. I thought that was kind of cute. Like every now and then
it's kind of adorable, but their relationship never seems all that real to me. I mean, it feels like a very high school relationship. Like,
right.
Are we dating? Are we not? I don't know. You walk me home from school. We can't really go out anywhere because my dad's a weirdo, and you don't have a car.
They do make out one time at the drive-through, right? Or the drive-in?
The drive.
But then he goes to
drive-through.
They go.
Well, Rosie's always. I mean, their relationship, of course, is strained. And she's always kicking him out of the mobile home, which is right next to the real home. So he's always like bunking up with Richie and everything.
Oh, yeah, because Richie lives kind of like in the basement. I do think it's interesting that the mom likes Rosie and they're friends, but she doesn't want to try to help Rosie at all. Like even when, I mean, not that she doesn't want to try to help Rosie, but like she's always telling Richie, like, mind your business when it comes between the two of them. Like it's their life and you can't butt in. Because Richie kind of says something to Bob, like, you know, you should be a little nicer to her and she's pregnant now, blah, blah, blah. And Bob is really kind of a douche about it. Like he's like, whatever, I have other, like when she tells him that she's pregnant, he's like, it wouldn't be the first, it wouldn't be the last.
Right.
I think, or something creepy like that.
It is kind of crazy because I'm like, I know you kind of just raped her, but that's still not how you should react.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. It's this whole family dynamic is dysfunctional because I don't know. I'm not that crazy about the mom or the way that she acts because she's so doting on Richie that it just infuriates Bob.
It's clear that she's got a favorite.
I mean, I assume that Rosie is pregnant and that should be the conversation. But no, Richie Valens comes home and he's like, Mom, I'm in a shitty garage band. And she thinks it's the greatest.
Uh-huh.
Donna also reminded me of, did you watch Mad Men?
Yeah.
She reminded me so much of Elizabeth Moss.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I imagine Elizabeth Moss watched this movie and was like, that's it. I'm going to look like Donna. I'm going to act like Donna. I'm going to talk like her and be weird and uncomfortable and mousy, just like her. For a second, I really thought it was her. And I was like,
you're like, wait a minute.
The years don't match up. There's no way.
So Richie, this is when they get their gig, after they play for the garage band with the garage show, and they don't let Richie sing. His mom convinces the bartender at that cowboy place, I think is what it's called, to let Richie sing there. Right?
I kind of wanted her mom to end up with the bartender.
They were cute. They danced together, and they were both like nervous before he started, which was cute. I think it's funny that I think he's half lit too when he does it. Bob plays drums for Richie.
I thought this would go somewhere, and it doesn't.
Well,
Bob,
not Bob, Richie quickly drops his band. We should know that. So this gig, he plays without the band.
listen, let's call this a side project because he's back with the band then when they play the American Legion show.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're right. He goes in on his own.
Right.
But Bob plays drums and he plays guitar and sings.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And this bar loves it.
Mm-hmm. And he sings some Buddy Holly.
Yeah.
Because, of course, Buddy Holly has to die in that plane crash, too.
Mm-hmm.
We hear Buddy Holly and the Big Bopper at different times this movie.
Yeah, yeah. What a treat, right?
What a treat. And yet we don't hear Richie Valens sing. We always hear Los Lobos sing.
Yeah, that's yeah. Now, she doesn't actually, she kind of manages him for these first couple of shows, but she's not his manager, which maybe things would have gone a little differently.
Well, I think right after this show, things are, because right after the show, they're sitting around the kitchen table and Bob comes in and he's even like, that was a great show last night.
Right.
That was so cool. I'll be your drummer. And even Richie's like, I can't depend on you.
Yeah.
You're kind of a loser. And his mom is just over his shoulder going, yeah, this is Richie's thing. Maybe you can hand out these flyers for this show at the Legion. It's kind of shitty.
That's right.
And yeah.
But that is when we get to see his lovely artwork, when we get to see the door opening to the fact that
Bob sees that they're making terrible posters.
Yeah.
And he calls them garbage posters or whatever.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh, you think you can do a better job? And so he paints guitars with wings.
Oh,
on
yeah,
them.
yeah.
It's kind of awesome because you see that he has that artistic ability.
Right. Even though his mother could care less. It's because it's Richie Valenzuela and the flying guitars, right? Isn't that what the mom decides? So maybe she should have lasted as his manager.
It's not a good name for a band. Like, that's not good.
That's why maybe she shouldn't. We should forget it. I do like that for a minute when everyone's passing out the flyers. My favorite flyer pass out scene is from Girls Just Want to Have Fun, when they pass out the flyers for that party. So it does have that kind of feel for all of a hot second because we have the motorcycle gang is handing out the flyers and she's kind of riding through town with a bullhorn, right? Announcing that there's this concert to come to.
Oh, mm-hmm.
The concert at the Legion Hall is a success until...
It's a huge success. Teenagers are choreographically dancing to songs. Mm-hmm. They might be La Bamba-ing. We're not sure. He hasn't come up with that song yet. But and by come up with that, I mean stolen it. But no, it's a huge success.
Yeah, she's making good money.
This is the point of the movie where the band does ditch the lead singer.
Oh, yeah.
Because the lead singer kind of lays down like an ultimatum, like, you're either with this guy who can play guitar really well and sing really well, or you're with me who plays the saxophone and you don't really need it.
He does. That's right. He plays the saxophone.
Right. And the band, the odd riffraff that this band is, makes the right decision.
Yeah.
Which, that doesn't...
help them at all.
He dumps them. Yeah, he dumps them. Never mind.
Yeah, he doesn't stick around with them. He's given the... this is also where his... I guess it's the record company guy. What is his name? Bob Keane. Another Bob.
Yep.
This is where he first hears him, is at the hall. This is also where Bob screws up again. He comes in drunk off his ass and starts a big old fight. Yeah.
Oh, but back to the band member that, the lead singer isn't there. I did notice during this concert, they did just find some random dude to play sax. There is a guy there
there is?
who was not part of the original band.
They figured it out. For the sake of the music, they figured it out.
Yeah, but you're right. Bob Keane shows up and orders a Coke because his mom's running the concession stand. Yeah. And Bob comes in drunk, and one guy completely destroys this entire concert because it turns into a comical Western bar fight.
Yeah,
People just start
ladies are hitting each other. Yeah.
I assume pent-up hostility between these teenagers for years
and it
all comes out
loose.
in one huge brawl.
Yeah, and it kind of ruins, and that's, again, we get a Bob, how could you? Bob's just bad news.
Well,
the vibe we
Richie
get.
even jumps off stage, runs out, and punches some guy that's hassling
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah.
I get it, but
Oh yeah, and he
this is your
stops
big
because he almost
break.
hurts his hand, doesn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. And they even trash up the Legion a little bit too. I think
Yeah.
some windows get broken
Yeah,
or something
you
like
get
that.
the feeling that whatever money she put into it, she didn't maybe get back.
Probably.
Yeah.
No, I assume they just left all the money by the door
Yeah.
with a note saying sorry, and that was it.
But it's a good sign because the record guy was there. Bob Keane was there. This is too right before this is when Bob gets a job. Bob, our shitty brother Bob, gets a job as a garbage man, and he gets.
I guess he got a job. Like I was like, has this been his job the whole time? We don't spend much time on the trash truck. We could talk about Men at Work, Charlie Sheen. But,
there we go.
But yeah, it's a really weird scene because he picks up garbage at movie studios.
Yeah, and he finds
so
Woody
excited.
Woodpecker pictures, right? And he's like, "Oh, this is awesome!"
And this is the only time in the movie when I was like, "Oh, his accent sounds like Cheech and Chong." Like he's like, "They make cartoons out of these, huh?" And I'm like, "Oh, is that an offensive accent? Like, is that real?" It seemed very strange because you hadn't heard it until this movie.
Right.
But I guess it's just like the first positive thing in his life, I guess.
Well, this is what helps him rediscover it. He takes these illustrations home and he goes working on it, and he sees that he has this potential to be an artist, right?
Yeah, he even enters.
He enters an art contest. I'm assuming those back of the like newspaper art contests that are like, if you can draw this donkey, yeah.
My God. It looked like those infomercials where there was like a picture of a pirate and like a parrot. And it was like, can you draw this? Then you're totally ready for art school.
Right. Then here's $500 check. And I think he does. He wins something, right? So does somebody send him the drawing table, right? Or does he win that too?
It's another part of the movie where the mom is kind of terrible.
She's kind of shitty about it.
He's like, "Hey, I won this art contest, $500." And his mom's like, "Yes." And he's like, "Worth of art supplies." And she's like, "Oh.
Yeah.
Like, encourage your deadbeat son. Like,
to go after his...
We all know your other kid's going to die. And I know you don't know that, but come on. You got... Well, she has a bunch of kids, but still, like, he did buy you that terrible house.
He did. He used his dirty money to buy the house. She does even, in the beginning, when he hands her money, she's like, "I don't want your dirty money," or something like that. She knows she put him in jail. We don't know what for, but she's the one, I guess,
I know.
got him busted.
I know. And when he says that, I'm like,
ooh, I know.
That is rough. It's like I was watching Jerry Springer.
Snap. Oh, Richie, then we talked about when Richie has to record in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
He does get Bob, comes to his house, the other Bob, the record guy Bob, comes to his house, makes a deal offer for him to record in his studio, which is really his basement, right? It's in a basement. But it's professional enough. It's
kind of cool.
Yeah. And the recording is grueling. It's a lot of takes and it's a lot of time. And
well, that's not the one. This is just the pre-record.
Oh,
he takes him to the
yeah.
basement
Where
and he's like, "Listen, you got to dump your band.
Yeah.
Is it your band or your music?" And he's like, "It's my family." And
yeah,
then he records. The real recording it's not too far from here, but that's an actual studio.
Like session, yeah.
Oh, but did you notice that he gets his music played on the radio?
Yep.
Rick Dees making a cameo in this.
Yeah, that's right. Right.
And I thought Bob came in. Bob, what's his name? Joe Pantoliano comes in, and he sits down with Rick Dees, and he hands him something. I was like, is he giving him drugs?
That's what I thought.
But then he just puts it in his mouth and starts chewing it like it was just gum.
Yeah, he just gave him a stick of gum. Like, not an exchange of, like, a cigarette or anything.
I thought
here's
that was
your
what
gum,
it was
buddy.
I was like, wow, that's really cool that he gave him some drugs to play this. I mean, he's a DJ. I assume all DJs are drug addicts. It made sense.
Yeah.
But nope, it's just gum.
Some gum. Just some gum for him to chew. Because,
Yeah. But he's a big hit, like immediately.
Oh yeah, and then he brings his the radio station runs a contest, and Richie ends up bringing pizza to some people, right? Isn't that winning the contest? The people who won get him to deliver their pizza.
How awesome is that? Like, and I feel like that's a thing. I guess they still do it,
like radio contests.
Yeah, like I guess they still do. Do you think they still do things where you can
like call in to win? No, what?
No,
sorry.
Not even that. Like, just record, like, have lunch with Lady Gaga. Do you think that's a thing? Do you think they still do that? Like, I feel like that's an older thing.
Yeah, I feel like it is a little.
To do.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's more of a. I mean, maybe they still do it, but I don't think in the same way.
Okay. I used to work with a woman, and she used to tell the story. Her mom entered a competition and like had lunch with Rock Hudson or something like that. Like they flew her out.
Like that was
LA.
part of the
Yeah, and she like sat and had lunch with this famous actor.
What a
just
nice
because she won a contest. Yeah.
Wow. It's better than winning an art contest, I'll tell you that. You just
exactly. $500. You got a drafting table, I guess. And some pencils. And Rosie doesn't want anything to do with it. She's like, get that goddamn art table out of
silly.
our trailer.
Yeah,
right?
She thinks it's all silly. He gets no support.
Nobody believes in Bob.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
And I felt like he was just trying to turn his life around. Like every time in this movie
that he could have.
Beyond the halfway point after he's done raping and punching people, I feel like every time he's on screen, he's trying to turn his life around. And everybody's like, "Shut up, you loser!"
What about Richie? Yeah, yeah.
when Richie gets the new house for his mom.
Oh, that crushes Bob. That crushes Bob.
Oh my god.
When they're like, we could put the pool here, you could see Bob's like, I didn't have a pool. I just had a trailer in the back. Here's the guest house. Oh, you die. You die for poor Bob.
Hey, Bob, you hear that? That's where you can live.
It's like, I just want to draw Woody Woodpecker with breasts.
Yeah, Bob, that's where you can get thrown out of nightly.
Oh.
All right. Okay. Around this time, he and Donna have sort of a rift in their relationship.
Oh, yeah, because Donna's dad's being kind of she's kind of standing in the way. It's a Romeo and Juliet type thing. Yeah.
I like how Donna goes inside, and we see her mom for like one scene?
When she answers the door, yeah.
Her mom even at one point is talking to Donna, and she's like, "Listen, Donna, you know how your dad is," and he's standing
right behind, creepily, like looking at I don't even know what, like his album collection. I don't know.
It was like you're talking about, like, he can clearly hear you.
Yeah, yeah. And he just looks over his shoulder, like peers at them, like.
But even Richie at this point gets weirdly possessive, like.
Oh, he's calling
a
lot.
Mine, and they can't keep us apart, and
teenage love, man. I don't know. I wasn't in love as a teenager. I wouldn't know. But.
It's difficult to see him as a teenager because he looks like he's 30.
This is true.
I mean, not 17 or whatever he's supposed to be. I mean, he's very smooth, but he still looks like a 30-year-old man.
Bob takes Ricky to Tijuana to get laid, right? He decides that that's what he needs. After he's been singing in the phone booth this Donna song to his estranged lover, Donna. This is where he hears and rips off, like you said, the La Bamba song. So there's a lineup of women, of Mexican women, that are.
I mean, this is like they're playing music at a whorehouse, right?
Yeah,
like,
I guess
that's what's happening.
Like
they have a live
band. I guess, and a really good band, right? And they're not like a sexy. Well, I guess it's a fun dance song, but it's not like a.
No. I mean, it's not like a strip club
song. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, they're just there to play music, I guess, to lure people off the streets.
To keep people dancing.
I don't understand the point of the live band.
Well, it's so that they can play La Bamba.
Right.
And Richie is transfixed by it, right? Forget the girls. He goes right for the band. Mm-hmm.
He can't even make a decision on the girls. And Bob's like, I don't know, take two of them. It's on me.
Yeah,
I don't care. But no, he hears music.
But then he hears the music.
How irritating is it? He goes up to this band and starts playing. What?
I think that's totally impolite. I mean, maybe not, but I would think, right?
I couldn't imagine being a band playing on stage and somebody walks up to the stage
and
with
starts
a guitar
to play
and just starts
along.
playing along. That is a weird
Although
thing to
maybe
do.
it's complimentary, and they're playing this like folk song.
I'm sure, right? I'm sure it is complimentary, but it's still bizarre.
I agree.
Strange behavior.
But
from
you're a band in a brothel, so I guess you're just kind of, you're just kind of going with the flow. Well, so Richie, who doesn't normally drink, he does get, I guess, shit-faced that night because he wakes up with a tattoo and all of this, like, all these skinned
tattoo,
animals.
Which does not look like it was put on that night. It's like a temporary tattoo.
Yeah.
His arm isn't red or raised or nothing. Nope. It's just a cute little guitar with
the wings, the flying guitars. But he wakes up in like this shaman's house, right? In the hut of a shaman of sorts, a Mexican shaman, who Bob apparently goes to see pretty regularly because he's like, I know this guy.
Where did that come from? Oh, this guy raised me. He's like a father. What are you talking about? Like, I know you get thrown out a lot, but how often do you get here? To visit this elderly man.
This elderly, powerful man who's got like a skinned snake like headband around his head, right?
I did enjoy his headband. Like I was like, you did just wrap a snake around your head and tie it.
And then he skins a snake right in front of them, doesn't he?
Skins it, and they're just eating snake. They're just eating snake and loving
like
life
it's
and
like
getting
it's
jewelry.
Like
and
they're
talismans.
snapping into a Slim Jim. But getting towels?
Talismans. Like he gives him like a good luck charm. He gives him that necklace. Like if you wear this, you won't die in a plane crash. Basically. Yeah,
basically. Yeah, he puts that. Yeah. And he gives him kind of gives him a little fortune of sorts. Like,
did you notice that when Bob comes in, when Bob rides in with his bike, he almost falls off of it? And I was like, "That's the best take. That's the best take you had." Where I guess he doesn't know how to ride a motorcycle, and it took this long in the movie for that to come out. And this was like, maybe this was the first day of shooting. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I guess
they're like, that's right, just ride in. He's like, do I stop this thing with my feet? How do I?
We totally forgot at the exact same time that all this is happening, Rosie's having the baby.
Rosie's having the baby, yeah. This is where, again, I feel like the mom... Richie's mom is a little bit insensitive. Like, if she is that pregnant and living next door, like, she comes over, it's pouring rain, and she's, like, banging on the door.
They need to have some sort of contingency plan. Like, Bob is clearly not a responsible individual.
He's not around a lot, yeah.
And you can't count on Richie, who doesn't have a car.
Right, yeah, because that's the first
thing. We only ever see him driving Donna's car.
Yeah. Well, until later when he gets the car.
Yeah,
right?
Like you gotta have something, like your neighbors, whoever lives in the garbage shack next to you. Like
you gotta know if she's gonna.
Yeah, and they named this baby the least Hispanic name possible.
Oh yeah, Brenda. She had the baby. Its name is Brenda.
Its name is Brenda. I was ready for him to go, what? My daughter's name is Brenda?
He goes
That's
with it,
really weird. That can't be a part of this movie that was made up because that name.
No,
is
I think that's
ridiculous.
really I think it's really the daughter is Brenda. Brenda, and his name is Brenda. Yeah, and when they do get back, the mom is pissed at both of them for being gone in Tijuana when Rosie was having Brenda, and how could they be so irresponsible?
Yeah.
And Bob, as per usual, takes the blame.
He's also, I love how he's drunk on that home video thing that they're shooting during a party. He's drunk, he's fighting all the time. He's such an angry individual.
When he comes back from Tijuana is when he records the Donna, right? And the B-side to Donna, he decides is going to be La Bamba. So then Richie drives to San Francisco for a gig.
Right.
And sooner or later, you can't just drive everywhere. We find out he's got this fear of flying, and he's got to fly to Philly for American Bandstand, right? Which he does. He agrees to because, hey, stardom is calling, and he's got to go to it.
I love how Joe Pantoliano is like, and Richie, we got to fly to this one. And I'm like, what? Have they had a conversation about flying? Like,
yes,
it seems like these guys were talking off camera a lot about this flying thing, but we as the audience were not privy to this information.
Well, I think the dreams, the flying nightmares kind of give it to you. He talks to Donna about the nightmares at some point, doesn't he? Aren't they eating at a diner and he tells her about it?
I guess.
Because it happens. So the history of the plane crash fear is that a plane had crashed over his elementary school.
We buried the lead here. Go ahead.
Right? Isn't that what happened? I don't know when he tells. I think he tells Donna this. The plane crashed when he over his elementary school and killed some of his friends. He wasn't in school that day. He was at his grandfather's funeral, right? But it's a reoccurring nightmare now. Is these two planes crashing into each other, and so I think since then.
And I mean, I understand the idea of having a biopic historically accurate. Mm-hmm. I get it. And I said earlier that's the thing that bothers me is when they're not.
Yeah,
but like, he's talking about his grandfather died and there was a plane crash above and he was at this funeral. And then later, Bob's picks up a picture of some dude in the military and he's like, oh, I really wish I knew him. And I'm like, are they talking about the grandfather? Are they talking about the dad?
Yeah, the dad.
Like, why can't you make those people the same one? Like, I know it sounds stupid, but like, I was at my father's funeral when these planes crashed.
Oh, I see. Like, there's the grandfather's.
Why?
Yeah.
You don't need the grandfather. You really don't. Like,
or don't give me the details of it. I was there at the, well.
I mean, it bothered me, but nobody else.
No, I mean.
But anyway, he goes to American Bandstand.
Mm-hmm. He gets on TV, right?
It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Is this when they meet Brian Setzer? Is it on American Bandstand or no? When does Brian Setzer come into this movie? I was like, holy shit, it's Brian Setzer. I forgot he was in this.
I thought that was when... Wait a minute. Oh, I don't... It must be... No. I thought that was late.
It's later. It's an actual performance.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right after that because he does American Bandstand. The mom buys a house.
Right. And then he does... It's that concert in New York that he does.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, he goes to New York. And that's when he... I like it when he performs. He tells him he's going to play them a little rattlesnake, and then he La Bambas. He La Bambas live. Oh my god! We
have to watch an entire song by a guy who looks like an Oompa Loompa in that like Tim Burton version of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And I was like, why are we watching the entire performance by this guy?
He is very orange.
I didn't even know what that song was.
Yeah, and it was so different than. The La Bamba performance, and maybe that's why we had to watch the whole thing to know, And who was he supposed to be? He was another.
I don't know. I know that Brian Setzer was Eddie Cochran, who he died young too. He died in like a car accident in France or England or something like that. But he was like 21. All these dudes died young. Except for probably that guy who was singing. I'm like, I don't even know who this guy is. They don't make biopics about those people. He probably had a long career. He probably still plays like Vegas or something like that.
Yeah, who was? I can't even think right now. Because I'm just thinking of the La Bamba performance and how he killed it.
He murders it. Mm-hmm. He's so great at fake singing.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, he's got a weird baby face and his tongue looks upsetting, but we love it.
Well, we do. Great. It is kind of, like you said, it's in the 1950s, but then even for those times, for this Mexican song to be playing and being so...
I mean, I think it's one of those things that we could probably look at and say, okay, I guess California has always been insanely progressive. Like, it's not like...
But they're in New York
had
now.
This success in... Yeah, but, I mean, New York is kind of the L.A. of the East.
True.
Like, I feel like, I don't think he'd be, in Minnesota or, well, although they are playing in Wisconsin at the end. Whatever. I don't know. I guess the 50s were great.
And I guess it's his evident talent. Like, he had a great voice. He played the guitar. He wasn't... I think the fact that he was not a Bob and he was such a clean-cut kind of singer probably helped him a lot to make his career. I mean, it was such a short career, though. I think it was like 8 months.
It really was.
Yeah.
Like at the beginning when it said 3 months later, I'm like, oh shit, he's going to die.
This is going
like
down. Yeah.
This is it. It really, and I wish that there were more. Oh my God. So many things that I wish were in this movie are things I hate about movies, but like more indicators of time.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how long from when they moved to that garbage house.
Well, it does.
Like, I don't know. Like, there weren't really a whole lot of holidays in there. Like, sometimes that'll help me track time.
He comes home from, I guess, whatever East Coast tour he was on. And it's Christmas, right? Because he comes home for a Christmas welcome home, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, that's when Bob's not drinking.
That's when Bob is so sad because he's sobering up.
He's not sad. He's angry. He's pissed. He's like, oh, yeah? I'll Miller highlight this. And then he drinks half of it.
But that's when he then goes, there's a party happening. He goes, like, I don't know where to, I guess to the guest house to go be sad and, like, on the couch.
It's the guest house. Because they can have a physical fight and nobody can hear them.
Yeah, they have a, like, really heavy fight. Like, they almost choke each other out, right? Mm-hmm. They get, Richie comes in and they have some really strong words with each other. And Bob, in the fight, Bob breaks the shaman necklace. He breaks that, like...
He breaks it.
It's like, the curse is, like, back on him, though. You feel like... and as the... knowing...
I know, and I was like, wait, was he cursed before this?
Well, yeah. The plane crash, this is necklace was keeping him protected. He seemed to be doing
fine before he got this necklace.
I know, he was riding on planes and drinking vodka to calm his nerves. It was all groovy. But now that this necklace is broken... And he's got this second tour coming up. I don't like it.
I don't like it either because I was feeling. I have to say, Bob is not a good character, and I don't want to excuse the raping, but okay. I have to say that I felt kind of bad for him, and I felt kind of sympathetic toward Bob. And then he tore this necklace off, and I'm like, are they trying to tell us that Bob is responsible for his death?
Well, yeah.
Like, that's, in case you thought this guy wasn't terrible, he murdered his brother.
Yeah, exactly. He's the reason his brother...
Wow. But he goes to play a show.
Well, before he goes to play the next show is when he professes his love to Donna, right? This is when before he goes on the second leg of the tour, Donna and him admit that they love each other, right? So we know that.
It's very sweet. It's adorable.
Yeah. Then he does go on tour with Buddy Holly, right? And
Buddy Holly and the Big Bopper.
Yeah,
the Big Bopper played by I don't know. Did you watch a lot of Seinfeld?
Oh yeah.
He's the guy that redesigned Jerry's kitchen.
That's
and then like the cabinets were in the way so you couldn't see people in the living room.
That's right.
And he died a couple years ago too.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. that guy, whoever his name is.
That guy, the cabinet organizer. During this leg of the tour, though, he's sick. He has the flu. The tour bus is for shit. Keeps breaking down. There's no heat. Right.
Nope.
It's bad news bears.
It's terrible.
He does kind of reconnect. Do you think this happened in real life? I wasn't able to see if this was an accurate thing. When he calls...
There is no way this happened in real life. I will tell you that right now. Having done no research at all, just understanding how movies are made, there is no way.
I know that it's kind of like the perfect movie, like, wrap-up. But do you think that he called... So he does. He calls home to talk to, I think, Mom. But... Bob is the only one there. And he's playing with his baby.
He's playing with the baby. Mm-hmm. He's not drunk at all or high or riding a motorcycle. No. He is playing with his baby daughter.
Brenda. Her name is Brenda.
Sorry.
And they named her Brenda. Yeah, and he does have the necklace. Remember, he's dangling the necklace over little Brenda's face.
Yeah.
And everyone's at church.
As though he tore it off Richie Valent's neck and then shoved it in his pocket.
Well, it's another reminder to be like, oh, that's why. It's Bob's fault. That's right.
That's right. Bob was like, you're not going to wear this anymore, right? My daughter can play with this.
She's teething.
Cool,
she can chew on it, right?
It's probably made of like snake teeth or dried guts anyway.
It's great for babies. It's great for babies. Oh yeah, but so they have a nice touching phone call, like a little kind of makeup, and
it's weird because Richie sounds like he is dying. Like, it sounds like a last conversation in Philadelphia or something. Like, he's just like, he's on his last legs. It's like, I just wanted to, before the show, I'm going to come home. We're going to go out like old times. I'm like, what are you doing?
What are you have
the flu.
But it's like he knows the end is near, you know? He knows.
Right. Sure.
And I think he invites him. He says, let's meet up in Chicago. We go to Chicago next year. You should come out. We'll hang out. And then there's a coin toss, the infamous coin toss.
The infamous coin toss, which I always, I saw this movie a lot when I was younger. Probably not as much as you, but I always thought the coin toss was Lou Diamond Phillips versus Brian Setzer, but he wasn't there.
Brian Setzer
like,
wasn't
it was
there,
just some other dude.
Yeah. Was it No, who was it?
I think it was.
Oh, it was the bassist or something. It's a
right.
Guitar
Yeah, I read
player,
online it was just like a bassist or a drummer or something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, so he wins the coin toss, and he even comments like, "I've never won any like a coin toss before." And he gets on the plane with Buddy Holly.
I never had any great luck. I just became a famous musician from nowhere.
Oh. But then we all know what's going to happen when he gets on this plane. You know when the movie starts, you know that this moment is going to happen, and it does. He is sick as a dog on the airplane, and the next thing we know, Bob's under a car, and he hears it on the radio.
Yep. I believe somebody said it was the day the music died, Jamie.
Yeah.
In a song, which is ironic, because if music died, you wouldn't be singing.
That song wouldn't be sung. Yeah. And it is.
Yeah, Bob's under a car. Oh, everybody's so sad.
Oh,
it's so sad.
Donna's a mess. They have to tell Donna to sit down when she hears. Mom's can't believe her Richie.
Comes
over.
Yeah. It's a whole thing.
And then it ends. Now, this whole movie, there was even the emotion. It's all like, it feels as natural as it can for the movie, right? But at the very end, when Bob screams for Richie over that bridge, doesn't that feel a little much? That's how it ends, too, is Bob goes to some bridge in LA somewhere, and it's just like, Richie! And I think there's even an echo.
In any movie where a character goes, no! It's the worst part of the movie, clearly, and that's
how we end it. That's how we end it. Richie is gone.
It is a shame. And it really, I wanted to know what happened to his illustration career.
Well, you can read up. I'll send you the link. There is a link on the Bob. He's still living.
Oh, I found a great article on him. It was like in Rolling Stone, and he does a lot of stuff with bikes.
Yeah. And I think he works at like a rehab or something, or did for a little while.
That would make sense. That sounds about right. But then I was like, well, why not just do the bike thing? Like why not just be like, because at one point Rosie's like, go work on your bike, you piece of shit, or whatever she says. Where I'm like, you can make that his thing. Like he starts to
make
restore
little
bikes
airbrush bikes. Like put little designs.
I mean, but maybe this guy maybe they just bring him on set and they're like, what did you do at this time? He's like, I found these Woody Woodpecker cartoons in the garbage, and I drew for 10 years of my life. It was great. And so they wrote it in. I'm not sure, but I kind of wanted something more with that at the end.
That's what you really want to see, is La Bamba Part 2. The Bob.
The Bamba 2, Bob's story.
Yeah.
Maybe it just picks up right after he yells Richie and walks off the bridge. That's where the next movie
starts.
That's where
the next movie starts, because that's really who we want to know about next.
Or, I mean, you could fast forward in time 30 years, get the same actor to come back and play it. It would be great.
It would be great.
It would be great.
It would be so good.
All right. So I did not mean to sigh like that because, Jamie, I enjoyed this.
Yeah, I don't think you can't. I don't think
it was fun. Yeah.
This is one of the. It was. Yeah. I don't know if the quality was perfection.
No.
But it was just a fun movie. It's fast moving too. There's no real good. There's no lulls as you're watching where you're like, really? Are we with Donna again?
The Donna stuff. You could have
But the Donna scenes go quick. They go quick. You know what I mean? We're not ever with Donna for that length of time.
Yeah, and we get to see her horrible father in the background sometimes. Where I'm just like, he seems like an evil character, but not really.
Yeah, but not quite evil enough.
Yeah, and you're right. Anytime something starts to drag, a song is right around the corner.
Yeah, there's
a
a little tune
fight
happening
between Bob and Rosie is going to happen, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, exactly. We'll spice things up, or if nothing else, we'll see Richie playing guitar for the kids again, and that always warms the heart.
We forgot to talk about that. He's playing a song, and he's like, at the end of the song, "Happy Birthday." And that's when Joe Pantoliano comes over to visit, right?
Yeah.
For the first time, he's just playing music for these random kids. Happy birthday!
Because that's what you do when you carry your guitar around everywhere you go.
I love that part. Oh my god! Yeah, this was a really fun movie, and you're right. It goes by. It was a pleasant watch.
Totally.
I don't know. Sometimes you think about movies you saw when you were younger, and you're like, I don't know.
Is that
how
going to
would
make it?
be
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Because the weird thing now having kids is, I feel like there's this thought that kids don't have patience or sort of can't, like, I don't know, like they're going to be bored easily. But I find when I show them movies, like, they're more engaged than I am a lot of the time.
You're like, oh.
Where I'm like, oh.
Did you watch La Bamba with the girls?
No, I didn't watch. But I did watch a movie. I watched a movie called The Red Shoes. Have you ever seen it?
I feel like I have.
It's a movie about dance. And it's from, like, the 30s.
Oh!
And it's, like, 2.5 hours long.
And were they into it?
Yes! And I was an hour in, I was like, how are they still watching this? But I remember, like, as a kid, like, I'd watch anything.
Yeah.
I'd watch anything, and I was engaged.
Yeah, you weren't as biased. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like almost kids have better attention spans than I do.
Well, and I think not to overdate us or make us seem so, but I think especially in our time growing up, well, I guess now you're saying your kids too. Like, yeah, if something's different than what they see every day, which is what movies are, why wouldn't you be into it? You should watch La Bamba with the girls. You should see what they think about Bob's antics.
Good movie.
Yeah, I think you notice more now how terrible Lou Diamond Phillips singing is, or not singing is. Yeah. But I agree. I enjoyed watching it. It was fun for me.
All right. Do you have any recommendations from?
I have kind of a hodgepodge of recommendations. I know we're only supposed to pick one.
Love them.
Give me
12. Go for
it. I whittled it down some. Well, because first I thought, okay, my instinct was another famous Mexican biop, and it was Frida. One of my favorite movies of all time is Frida with Salma Hayek.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And then I thought I should stick to the music biop stuff. And so I was trying to think of my most recent favorite. And I like, did you see that was Love and Mercy? The Brian Wilson story. Oh, it's really good. It's not called the Brian Wilson story, but it's Love and Mercy. It's with that Paul Dano and John Cusack is in it. It's very good.
Okay.
So I recommend it. But then I also went with, because a lot of this movie just being what it is. Have you seen the show? I think it's on Netflix. Documentary Now with Fred Armisen and Bill. Yeah.
Yes. Their Grey Gardens episode, I think that was the first one.
Yeah.
They're the old ladies that are in that house. Like, that
yes.
is so amazing.
Brilliant. Their second season just started, and it's brilliant. So,
oh, my God. I love that.
3 recs there.
Yeah,
so what about you?
The only thing I have to recommend is, and again, I feel like if you're going to do biopics, you got to do it well, and you got to have, like, great actors in it. And so I just came up with Sid and Nancy, which is so good.
Yes.
Which is amazing. Yes. Like Gary Oldman and Chloe Webb, I think is the actress's name. They're just so good. Like,
yeah, you forget that they're...
Yeah, and I'm always really skeptical about things like that. Like, they take liberties and, things are lies. Yeah. Like, I prefer documentaries over biopics, but I don't know. When the performances are that good, who cares? It doesn't matter.
I don't have to recommend anything for the next 4 movies we do.
That's it. Oh, and in 2 weeks, just so Jamie doesn't have any recommendations, just keep that going for 2 weeks. Everyone voted, and Jamie, I have to tell you, it was really close. I love it. I had to go from Twitter to Facebook and total votes to get it because it was not decisive.
Wow.
But we will be
so
watching
tight.
Temple of Doom.
Yes.
So
All right.
we'll be eating snakes and ripping out hearts.
Is this the one with the Asian kid?
Yeah, having slightly, probably racist depictions of Asian children. From what I remember, I do have to say, this is probably, of the three, the one that I've seen the least.
Oh, I think it's the one that I've seen the most.
Oh my God.
Seen the most.
And again, I'm sure I'll talk more about it on our next episode, but.
Sure, yeah.
I had a tape of The Last Crusade, the one with Sean Connery.
Oh, yeah.
I must have seen that movie 50 times. Like, I could go through that movie beat by beat. I know every line.
You wouldn't even have to watch it again.
Nope. But that was the one that lost. So, we're going to be watching Temple of Doom in 2 weeks. We do have some announcements coming up. One may have to do with the website. So
coming up.
We're only 2 years late.
That's okay. What's the warm-up? It's okay.
I know. Now I just have to put 50 past episodes up on that website. That'll be fun. All right, everybody. That's it. We will talk to you again in 2 weeks. So watch Temple of Doom. And we'll see you on our 2-year anniversary.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. It's crazy.
I'm going to La Bamba for the 2-year anniversary. I don't even know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to
lambada. I'm going to do like a sexy dance by myself.
You're going to do the forbidden dance for our anniversary. Oh, wait. I'll say goodnight.
Para bailar la bamba, para bailar la bamba, te necesito una poca de gracia pa' mi patria. Y arriba, por ti seré. Yo no soy marinero, soy capitán.
It's Woody Woodpecker!